Welcome. Welcome. We're currently in the mood to take a long nap in the car. We're absolutely exhausted. Drained of our energy. They gave me a whole large cup. Yay! Holy crap. I'm realizing that one can of Coca-Cola, it's this much. So when we actually get a large, we're drinking so much more than just a can. Depends on how much ice you get, of course. I like my ice light. Today's been very robotic. Yet quality is being focused on tremendously at my job. I'm thinking we go to a water park today. I'm not sure what spilled on my seat, but I got one of my favorite books damaged and wet. Do you see? My seat's not even wet either. It's okay. Day 1. Love is the greatest of these. If I have all faith so that I can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 2. Loving God and others is what life is really about. No matter who you are or what you do, it comes down to whether you'll live a life of love or not. And there's a vast difference between the two. One is priceless, and let's reread that again. And there's a vast difference between the two. One is priceless and one meaningless. Love is the most important ingredient to any meaningful relationship. It is fundamental to true significance. Look at that. Big words today. Your quality of life is directly tied to the amount of love flowing in you and through you to others. Though it's often overlooked, love is infinitely more valuable than riches, fame, or honor. They will pass away, but love remains. You can be fulfilled without these, but not without love. The absence of love leaves a devastating void. When it is not present, your spirituality becomes superficial, your benevolent deeds self-centered, and your sacrifices insincere. In any relationship where love is not your motivation, you can expect it to feel bland and unfulfilling, if not meaningless. When asked to identify life's greatest command, Jesus summed it up this way: to love God with all you are and to love your neighbor as yourself. Will you embrace a life of love? This week's dare is begin this week. Lord, teach me what real love is and make me a loving person. Lord, teach me what love is and make me a loving person. That's this week's dare. This is day one. I sort of want to continue. Day two. Since we've already taken this book and we've been highlighting the specific every days, we want to get caught up to the day that we have not highlighted, which is the start was day 10. So I'm really on day 10 of this study, but I wanted to start over and share it with y'all. I'm going to go to the second day. Love is life's motivator. For Christ's love compels us. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 14. Anger can fuel hatred in a man's heart until he feels like attacking his enemy. But love can spark kindness in his heart. So he lays down his life for his friend. Selflessness can drive a woman to tighten her grip and hoard her resources, but love can inspire her to open her hands and give sacrificially. Love is the purest and most powerful motivator. I thought that was beautiful reading that. Let me stop for a second. Love is the purest and most powerful motivator. It gives courage to a coward, wisdom to a fool. When love invades your heart, you are empowered to endure deeper pain, willingly pay a greater cost, and run risk to your reputation for the sake of another. Love causes a soldier to lay down his life for his country, a mother to pray relentlessly for her child, and a gracious God to send his only son to die for our sins. Love is that powerful. truly. Paul the apostle endured beatings, intense persecution, and hardship throughout his life. He did it for one reason alone. Christ's love compelled him. I underline this part. Check this. If love began fueling your decisions, what would it drive you to do for your marriage? I'm not married myself, but that is it's powerful. Day number 3. Love is the key. Now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. Love is fundamental. Fundamental. Love is fundamental to the success of your marriage, not your current feelings of romance or sexual satisfaction, not a strong financial standing or even your spouse's behavior. All these can circumstantially change, and they will. But when storms arise and conditions worsen, love-driven marriages endures. Love-driven marriages endure and work through even the toughest issues without giving up. When marriages crumble, couples often claim that it was due to their irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences. But genuine love is a master at reconciliation. When love takes over, it compels us to humbly apologize and take full responsibility for our failures. Then to fully forgive where your spouse has failed us, where our spouse has failed us, over and over and over again. Resilient marriages are built on honesty, respect, commitment, forgiveness, and endurance. And love constantly inspires all of these things to grow and thrive within us. The love reaches far beyond marriages. It is a God-given key to its success. You can strip away most of the pleasures you and your spouse hold together, but your marriage hinges on love. Love. Day number 4. Love simplifies. Day number 4. Love simplifies. Do not owe anyone anything except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Romans chapter 13, verse 8. Love ultimately fulfills every law of God. It persuades us to live out all that is good and forbids us from doing all that is evil. Every act of hatred, subtle deception, or plot of unfaithfulness is vetoed when love takes command in our hearts. Love towards God leads us to obey him and uphold his rightful place of honor in our lives. If we do so, we will by default not sin against his name. Love towards others transforms our behavior from the bitter and diffuses evil intentions. Like light dispels darkness. Men, listen up. Men who lead by love won't deceive or degrade their wives or their neighbors. When love fills a woman's mouth, she encourages her family instead of tearing them down. When you focused on love, you will naturally demonstrate patience, tenderness, kindness, rather than trying to manufacture right actions and attitudes. Let love become your first response and your default position. Then you're set to launch into any circumstances graciously and to land with no regrets. When you're able to live a life with no regrets, it makes living actually easier. Day number 5, love is the business of men. God has not given us a spirit of fearfulness, but one of power, love, and sound judgment. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. When a movie is marketed as a love story, we assume it's primarily for an audience of women. If plots don't contain fights, bleeding, or explosion, men will gladly avoid them. But real love is not merely woman's work. It is at the core of manhood, transforming men to be strong and courageous. Love makes a husband put away childish things and embrace his responsibilities to lead his family. It drives him to defend his wife, provide for his children, and even lay down his life if they become endangered. Love motivates a man to confront injustice and take passionate stands for what he believes in, like crossing an ocean to fight for his country. Jesus was one of the most loving men ever to walk the earth and remains the perfect example of manhood. Beautiful. With passion, he confronted evil, cast out demons, and rebuked religious hypocrites. Out of love, he served sacrificially, rescued the brokenhearted, and willingly died for the sins of the world. Real men embrace this love as the driving force to boldly do what boys merely dream of. Oh, that hit. That hit. As much as I want to continue, your boy does have to go back to work. Your man has to go back to work. Ciao. I love y'all. I will be going live later on today.